What is up, y'all? Welcome back to Tompa Bay in ESPN NFL 2K5. We have made it to the promised land in year number one as, well, maybe not expected, but as we hoped, we go on an insane run to make it to the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens, who are on quite a streak. Then we'll talk about them more later, but first, we have Chris Berman in SportsCenter to recap the championship round.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Ravens end up on the right side of an 11-point game. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Justin Fargas will be moving on from his current address, and he gets a pretty good deal to do it. 6 years, $5.4 million, plus a $1.0 million signing bonus. Goodman is on the move as he gets a contract for what can only be referred to as crazy money. 4 years, $2.1 million. Sam Brandon got snatched up as well, and he signs a 2-year contract with the Panthers.
And last but not least, we had the Buccaneers come away victorious.
All right, Boomer, thanks. And our only injuries this week are of the season-ending variety. Dan Morgan had to be placed on injured reserve, so he'll be on the sidelines for the rest of the year. Just a key blow to the heart of this defense. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
So before we embark on some serious Super Bowl hype, let's look back and dole out a few game balls for our primetime players from today's conference championships. 32 teams kicked things off back in September, each having this game as their ultimate goal. Only 2 teams remain. One team will stand alone as champions of the National Football League. I'm Chris Berman, and that just about wraps it up. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you for the Super Bowl here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Okay, before getting into the key players for the Baltimore Ravens, we will celebrate our Pro Bowlers. Officially selected to the Pro Bowler in his first year in Tampa Bay is Tompa Bay himself, Tom Brady. Joining him is going to be Mike Alstott, getting an overwhelming first place vote for the fullback position. And then the only other Pro Bowler that we have on this team is Martin Gramatica, who had a great regular season, maybe not the best postseason. He's only missed a field goal so far, but those are our Pro Bowlers, and we'll jump right into the key players for the Baltimore Ravens. So Kyle Boller, in just his second year in the league, has led the Ravens to the Super Bowl. 27 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 3,200 yards. Jamal Lewis, not quite the 2,000-yard season that he had the year prior, but still 1,000 yards over 14 games, so he had a little bit of injury trouble, plus 6 total touchdowns, and you can see there 5 total receiving touchdowns. Travis Taylor ended up being the top receiver for the Ravens at 531 yards and 3 total touchdowns. Jonathan Ogden, the elite tackle, 98 overall. He's got a 96 run block and a 94 pass block. I just said that the other way around, but you get it. And on the defensive side of the ball, we got Pierre Boulware, 16 games, 97 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble for the veteran out of Florida State. And this is the big reason I think that the Ravens have found their way. Ray Lewis only played half of the games this season. He had an injury for the first half of the season. He came back in the second halves, and he played really, really well through those 8 games, and their defense is looking a lot more staunch because of it. And then Chris McAllister, 81 tackles from the corner spot, 4.5 sacks and 4 interceptions. Wild year from him. And Ed Reed, the third-year guy out of Miami, 101 tackles, his first season over 100 tackles, 3.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception. And just to cap it off, they also have an elite kicker, Matt Stover, in his 15th year out of Louisiana Tech. He is really good, 92 overall, great kicker. And, I mean, honestly, they'd be even more formidable if Todd Heap was not on the injured reserve with a bruised kidney, but he has to sit on the reserve. So we have ourselves a Super Bowl matchup. In Jacksonville, Florida, we don't have to travel too far, so this is basically a home game for us. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Baltimore Ravens in the Season 1 Super Bowl. Let's throw it to Chris one more time, and we'll see you down on the field.
Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. Here we go on ESPN. 32 teams kicked things off back in September, each having this game as their ultimate goal. Only 2 teams remain. By the end of the evening, one team will stand alone as champions of the National Football League. The hype is over. It's time to play some football. The Super Bowl, just moments away. Baltimore, Tampa Bay. This ought to be good.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Dan Stevens. Welcome to ESPN's coverage of Super Bowl 39 here in Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Bowl 39 in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. The city's so nice they called it Jacksonville. In real life this year, the Philadelphia Eagles faced off against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. In this life, the Baltimore Ravens are facing off against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the toss. They choose to receive first, and Mario Edwards gets a pretty good return there. Tom Brady takes over from his own 27. Quick drop back, a little bit more of a drop back, and Tom Brady gets sacked by Peter Boulware on the first play of Super Bowl 39, losing 3 yards on that play. Very next play, we're going to give this one to Mike Allstott, the Pro Bowler, making the first guy miss, giving his shoulder to Peter Boulware. He's going to get those 3 yards back. 3rd and 10 for Brady. Quick drop back, rolling right, throwing right, over the head of Chris McAllister, and Joey Galloway makes an incredible catch, keeping both of his feet in bounds to move the chains closer to the 50-yard line. Charlie Gardner, with his first carry of the day, tries to get his juke on, but cannot get past Ed Reed. That's a 3-yard gain for Tampa Bay. 2nd down, Brady in some trouble. Is going to get hit at the line. That's going to be technically a sack, but no yards on the loss. Brady on 3rd down, rolling forward, throwing over the middle to Keenan McCardell. Hits him in stride. That's another 1st down. Move the chains for Tom Brady and co. 1st down. We're going to be showing a lot more plays in this game just because it's the Super Bowl. Gardner getting a nice broken tackle, 6-yard gain. Ed Reed on the tackle. Very next play, 2nd and 4. Brady dropping back, rolling left, throwing deep. Joey Galloway, I almost said Joey McGallagher. Joey Galloway can't hold that one in. That one was deflected by Baxter. And then Brady, quick slant over the middle to Michael Clayton, and the rookie making the catch to move the chains, keeping the drive alive. 1st and 10 now from just about the 21-yard line. Brady on the play action, throwing over the middle for Charles Lee, one of his favorite red zone targets, makes a great catch over the middle, making a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. The Ravens come out in a 3-4, and that's a perfect opportunity for Mike Allstott to use his shoulder to get into the end zone. Ray Lewis was a non-factor in that drive, and the Buccaneers hit the extra point to go up 7-0 on a strong 11-play, 73-yard drive. And now it's the Ravens' turn. Kyle Bowler dropping back, throwing right. This one deflected by Ian Gold, bringing up a 2nd down. 2nd and 10. This one's going to be handed off to Jamal Lewis, getting up the middle, but getting tackled quickly by Anthony McFarland. Only going to gain a yard on this one, so the Ravens in danger of going 3 and out on their first set. But that's Travis Taylor making a great catch on the rollout to the right side, and that's going to move the chains just barely, but it's still a 1st down. 1st down now, hitting Travis Taylor on the right side. He's going to catch this one. It's called out of bounds, but Baltimore does not like the call. So in the 1st quarter, we're going to see our first challenge made on a play. And honestly, this one happened so fast, we might have to look at this one again. Now, it looked like to me he didn't make it, but the refs disagree with that. They're going to say that both of his feet were in bounds, and Travis Taylor gets his 2nd reception in a row to move the chains for Baltimore for the 2nd time in a row. Baltimore now about the 46-yard line, giving that one to Jamal Lewis on the draw, gets past the line and the linebackers. That's going to be a 9-yard gain. Toss on Lewis on 2nd down. He gets hit by a bunch of Tampa Bay defenders. Derek Brooks is the first one in there to make the TFL. Bringing up a big 3rd and 2 here. Bowler going to go to Jamal Lewis on the draw, and Brooks is there again in the backfield to make the tackle. We almost got there with Simeon Rice, but Brooks was able to be the backup for Simeon to make the tackle and force the punt. After a good start to a drive, Jones making a little cutback, doing a little jukey juke. That's only going to get us to the 21-yard line, but that's better than starting at the 10. Mike Allstott with a ton of room over the middle, makes Demp Smith miss with his shoulder. That's Suggs and Mike Reed and Ed Reed making the tackle, but that's going to be like a 15-something gain. for Mike Allstott. Great run right up the middle, given a lot of room there by the Ravens. There, Clark Gregg is going to make a fancy spin move on our center, and in the 3-4 formation, they get their first sack with the nose tackle breaking through and making a 4-yard loss on Brady there. So 2nd and 14. Brady looking to throw, running away from the pressure, looking for a man downfield. He's going to end up throwing that one away with after not having anything down there, not having any room to scramble down the field. We're going to roll out on 3rd down here, looking for an option, throwing back over the middle, threads the zone, and finds Michael Clayton over the middle, holds on to the ball through the contact, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. The Buccaneers are up on the Ravens in Super Bowl number 39 by a score of 7-0. Coming right back on a 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line in Baltimore territory. The ball's going to come out, and it's going to get picked up by our center, Big Wade. So our center hasn't been doing that great against defending the pass, but he did do a great job of following the play and picking up the ball. Ray Lewis making that tackle there, but not until after Mike Allstott is able to cross the line for a first down. That's going to be a play action on 1st down, throwing to Joey Galloway on the button hook, hit right away by Fuller. That's going to be a 2nd down and about 6 yards. That's our peanut moment. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel and like the video if you haven't already. Brady dropping back on 2nd and 4, looking over the middle. That one knocked away by Baxter, who stepped up in coverage. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4, getting dangerously close to letting the play clock run out, and it does, in fact, run to 0. Tom not able to get his orders out to his players in time, and the play clock goes to 0. We're going to back this one up to a 3rd and 9. Quick drop back from Brady, rolling slightly to his right, throwing left to Joey Galloway, who brings that one in front of Will Demps, and despite moving backwards by 5 yards, we are still able to move the chain. 1st and 10 now from about the 12-yard line. Brady looking end zone, finding end zone. That's Keenan McCardell making the great snag on the post route over the middle. We seamed the post. It was a good play. Ray Lewis coming in for the pressure. There was no safety sitting over the top. And in the game of Baxter versus McCardell, McCardell comes up on top, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the driver's seat. 5 minutes and 44 seconds to go. 270-plus yard drives, and we are looking at a 14-0 lead here in the Super Bowl. The Ravens getting the return to about the 26-yard line with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Jamal Lewis getting the draw up the middle. Simeon Rice hitting him there for a gain of just 1 yard. Another no-yard gain, and just like that, another 3rd and long for the Ravens. The defense has been doing their thing, and Simeon Rice gets through for the sack, and things are looking dire for the Baltimore Ravens as they are forced to punt again. Their offense has not really been able to put anything together here in this game. Jones with a nice return past the 50-yard line. We started the Baltimore 48. Brady looking over the middle for Clayton, finds him. He takes a big hit from Will Demps, but that's still going to move the chains. We have a real big chance to get into the end zone one more time, and that one was dangerously close to going in the other direction. We were looking deep for Michael Clayton. It was almost an arm punt to Ed Reed right there. 2nd and 10, we give the ball to Gardner, who tries to work around the blocking. Can't quite do it, still manages 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 6, Brady dropping back. He's going to look right. He gets hit by the blitzing that's actually Baxter, who decided to rush in from the corner position as soon as he saw Tom starting to break away. So that's going to force us to punt the ball away. It actually goes back for a touchback, and the Ravens take over from their own 20, and they immediately get an 18-yard pass to Travis Taylor, complete moving the chains. Now Jamal Lewis gets to the outside, has a little bit of space. Corral's giving chase, pushes him out of bounds. It's going to be 2 first downs in a row as we approach the 2-minute warning. Hitting 2 minutes in the quarter. This time Lewis is going to go up the middle, gets met by Derek Brooks. Another great tackle at the line of scrimmage from our veteran linebacker, our best linebacker, Derek Brooks. Ian Gold meets the stiff arm of Jamal Lewis. He's going to be tackled out of bounds by Sheldon Corrals. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1, and Jamal Lewis eats 3rd and 1s for breakfast. Corrals is able to make the tackle, but that's going to be a first down, move the chains for the Ravens. A score would do big for the Ravens going into halftime. Just about a minute left, coming off of an 8-yard gain from Jamal Lewis. They're going to run again, and he gets eaten up by big Anthony McFarland, who's made a couple of great plays on the defensive line today, but a great pass in triple coverage. Big throw from Bowler to Travis Taylor. That's going to move the chains into a 1st and goal situation. Jamal Lewis getting about 5 yards. Going to take a timeout finally. That's only their first timeout. They've been doing really good at managing the clock getting into this late half half drive. That one's going to be complete to Travis Taylor. Again, he's going to get, oh no, that's not Taylor. That was Kevin Johnson with his first reception, and he gets tackled backwards out of bounds. And then a beautiful pass from Kyle Bowler into the end zone. He finds Johnson for the touchdown, and that's going to be the 7 points that the Baltimore Ravens needed to start to get back into this one. So instead of going into the locker room down by a score of 21-0, which what it was looking like, the Ravens are able to step up and make a stop and also drive 80 yards down the field in just 2 minutes and 11 seconds, and that's going to send us to the locker room. It is a long break, as you know, when there is a halftime Super Bowl performer. It's a long time. There's a chance for guys to get cold. Brady talks about this all the time, how basically it's a completely different game, and at this point, it's anybody's ball game. We have been dominating time of possession. We're throwing better. Our rushing game is about the same, but we are only up by 1 touchdown, so we're going to have to come out and get our offense going if Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are going to hope to bring home a Lombardi trophy in Super Bowl number 39. Up until this point, though, Tom Brady has been the Boomer halftime hero. He's 9 for 13. He's got 131 yards, and he's got 1 touchdown. The Ravens, however, will take over first in the third quarter of Super Bowl 31. Bowler looking over to the left side for DeVar Darling. He's not able to pick that one up. That might sound familiar. We just picked him up because of an injury in the Steelers rebuild. Jamal Lewis getting a little shovel pass over the middle, going to move the chains to about the 34-yard line, excuse me. That one dangerously thrown, not able to be picked up by Dwight Smith, who is out there on the coverage. That's going to bring up a second down and long, throwing to the right side, looking for Jamal Lewis there. There is a flag down on the play. We'll see what the referees see here. I didn't really see it. We've got a holding call on the offense, I believe, so we're going to be pushing this one back to a 2nd and 20. Even though they saved the down, they do get pushed back to a 20-yard deficit here, and that one's going to be thrown outside of the hands of his receiver, Kyle Bowler. Going to have a 3rd and very long on his hands. Needs to be careful to not turn the ball over. He almost does. That one was deflected by the linebacker, Ian Gold. That brings up a 4th and 20. Nice. We punted away to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That one's going to be tackled quickly, bringing up Tom Brady and crew at the 37-yard line. Now Brady's going to give this one to Charlie Gardner on the draw, who seems to be hitting more Ravens than open space on his run so far. That's only a 3-yard gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7. This one's going to be deflected at the line by, I think, Ray Lewis getting in there for the pressure. 3rd and 7, all-out blitz. Brady throwing over the top, and this one's going to be intercepted by Ed Reed. We were looking for more. Dan Moore, one of our best receivers, when we throw over the top to him, but for once, he is not able to get to the ball, and it's Ed Reed. I mean, honestly, how are we surprised that Ed Reed has a better coverage on the ball than Dan Moore? But it is indeed Ed Reed who wins that battle, gets a huge turnover for the Baltimore Ravens, an uncharacteristic turnover for Tom Brady, but you gotta do what you gotta do here. DeVar Darling gets the reception on the button hook. That's a 7-yard gain. Jamal Lewis running on the outside. That's going to be Derek Brooks making the tackle. It's still going to be a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 2. Maybe we can make this interception mean nothing, and we are able to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Corral's getting through there, forcing the down with only 1 yard of gain for Jamal Lewis. That's going to bring up a fresh set of downs, and essentially no harm, no foul for Tom Brady and crew. Allstott makes one guy miss with his shoulder, manages a 4-yard gain out of a run that was potentially looking like a loss. We throw to Queen McCardell on kind of a little RPO to the outside as we take a look at Tom Brady's stats. 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So far that interception has not bit us too hard on the butt, but Ray Lewis comes straight through and rocks Charlie Gardner, forcing him down before the line. So we call Charlie Gardner's number here on 3rd down, and we are not able to convert. Baltimore takes over at their own 34 with some space to work, although Jamal Lewis not getting much space. Only a yard gained there to get to 2nd and 9. Jamal now does have some space. We managed to recover after missing on the first attempt to plug the hole, but that's a 10-yard gain. Move the change. Jamal Lewis getting another carry to the outside. Smith was the first one to hit him, and you can see here Jamal is really putting on his hard hat. He's got 3.5 yards per carry, 17 carries, make that 18 carries as he gets the ball here. Ian Gold making the tackle. Just a 2-yard gain for Jamal Lewis, another big 3rd down situation for the Ravens. Throw to the left side is no good. He was looking for his fullback, Richard. Bowler just kind of threw that one away, absolutely skies that one, and it's going to be Tampa Bay ball. Now, there is a flag on the play as we see the punt, and this is potentially one of the biggest mental mistakes that you could make in one of the biggest moments. The Buccaneers get called for a roughing the kicker on the punt. We don't really get to see it in the moment, so unfortunately this was me hitting the block button. So now the Ravens have the ball like way forward, and Ricard is going to get a huge play here to get a 12-yard gain. The fullback making a big run. Jamal Lewis getting some good push from his line. We were getting the ball back to potentially go back and score, and now it's the Ravens that are knocking at the door. Derek Brooks finally doesn't win a competition between him and Jamal Lewis. We've got a 3rd and inches. Who else would you give it to but Jamal Lewis at this point? Although we make a good play, Ian Gold gets in there for the stop. We have to bring out the chains to see where this one is spotted, and you can see here that the referees are spotting this one just short of the marker. But once again, if I have to give the Ravens compliments on anything, their coaching in this game has been absolutely fantastic. You can see clearly here that Jamal Lewis gets over the line. He makes the conversion. So look at that. Look at how far over that ball is over the line as his forward momentum is stopped, and the referees agree this time. So not only did they manage their play clock really, really well to get that touchdown before the first half ended, they are 2 for 2 on challenges, getting the first down. Another draw to Jamal Lewis. I mean, like, it's not really ball don't lie. It was just a yard on the play. Kenny Holmes getting in there for the stop, and then over the middle for Travis Taylor. So it's not Jamal Lewis making the touchdowns for the Ravens. It's Kyle Bowler finishing things off. He finds Travis Taylor for his first touchdown of the day, but it's the Ravens who managed to come storming back, and they tie this game up by a score of 14-14 off of the back of that huge mental error on special teams. Jones makes a good return there, and as we get close to the end of the third quarter, Tampa Bay and crew are going to take over at their own 24-yard line. Tom looking to throw on first down. He had a man over the middle. That was Keenan McCardell. He's not able to connect. That's going to bring up second down. Mike Allstott makes someone miss with his shoulder, but he's only able to make it 3 yards, and just like that, going into the fourth quarter, just 10 seconds later, Tom and company are up against the wall. We've got a 3rd and 7. A huge first down is needed here. Tom, under pressure, decides to throw it deep to Michael Clayton, and he drops the ball on contact, and that's going to have to bring up another punt for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it seems like the defense has really fallen asleep here, and the offense has not been able to get traction ever since the second half has started. First down goes awry. Throwing that one incomplete is Kyle Bowler. On second down, we've got a rollout to the right side. Floats that one out to his tight end. Usually that is Todd Heap, but not Todd Heap is not able to make that play. And on third down, they make the completion to Travis Taylor, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. Great stop by the Tampa Bay defense after doing not so good on making the stops, and we're going to get the ball back here on the 21-yard line. Brady dropping back to pass, throwing it over the middle. That's Mike Allstott, bobbles and drops it. We put that thing right in the bucket for him, but he's not able to hold on to the hot potato. Brady under pressure, rolling to the left. I hit the wrong button, y'all. I had circle wide open over the middle, and I forgot that I had flipped the play, and I almost threw an interception because of that. Then they throw it on third down to Michael Clayton, who has been so solid all year. He almost had 1,000 total yards receiving. That's his second drop pass of the Super Bowl. You can see there, our guy kind of glitched out there, giving Baltimore a really good field position, taking over from their own 46-yard line. Lewis is going to get nowhere on first down, bringing up a 2nd and 10. Bowler's going to find an open Kevin Johnson over the middle. And not only is it going to be an open Kevin Johnson over the middle for a first down, we're going to get called for a whole face mask. Not an incidental face mask, a whole personal face mask on Victor Green. So one of our most solid defenders all year has an absolute mental lapse as Anthony McFarland makes another great play at the line to stop Lewis, but Lewis then gets to the outside, and he was almost loose. Quarles making the tackle, but that's a 9-yard gain, bringing up a 3rd and 1. It would be huge to make the stop, and we can't make the stop. He works out of the tackle of Brian Kelly, and McFarland makes the play down the field, but it's going to bring up a first and a fresh instead of down. 1 yard later, we've got a 2nd and 9. Jamal Lewis rolling right. He's got a little bit of space. Victor Green can't get him. Brian Kelly finishes the play off. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1, and you got a toss to the left side with nothing but space. And the Ravens, with 4 minutes left, have taken the lead for the first time in the Super Bowl. The defense has woken up. Jamal Lewis has found his stride, and he gets into the end zone for the first time today. Kick is up, kick is good, and Tom Brady and company are officially with their backs up against the wall. Maybe they fell asleep, maybe they were resting on their lead too solidly, but now it's time for them to wake up and smell the pigskin, because we got to get ourselves into the end zone. Tom Brady potentially feeling the moment, is looking deep right away for Michael Clayton, who is also feeling the moment, but he gets called out of bounds on the catch, and we don't like that call. And I mean, it's kind of like we have to make this challenge, and we can't let it go to waste, especially if we are right. And upon seeing this replay, we are so right, baby. We're going to get a nice slow angle of this one, showing 1 foot down, 2 feet down, well inbounds. The referees agreeing with us, overturning the call, and we are going to move way downfield thanks to that reception. So now we're down to about the 41-yard line. Brady dropping back again, looking over the left. He's got a man. That's Keenan McCardell making the catch, absorbing the hit from Fuller and Will Demps, moving the chains in to Baltimore territory. 4-man rush, rolling out to the left side. Brady, no one in front of him, decides to take it himself, goes to dive for the first down, dives under the pursuing defender. Lucky he didn't get his cap blown off on that one, but that's going to bring us a first down at about the 30-yard line. Brady with time to throw, looking over the middle. This time Michael Clayton is going to hold onto it and then some. And Brady has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers inside of the 20-yard line with just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this one. Taking down 1st and 10. Brady dropping back, looking over the middle. He's got Joey Galloway wide open over the middle. So on two hands, this is good and it's bad. It's good because we've tied the game and we have a chance to win it. Beautiful drive by Tom Brady, getting down the field in just 2 short minutes. Kick is going to be up. Kick is going to be good. But on the other hand, we've given up 21 points since the end of the first half. And the Ravens have plenty of time to get down the field. And as we've seen already, their clock management has been really, really good. Great return there. Going to start them off on their own 27. Jamal Lewis, the star of the show so far, is going to lose one here. Dale Russell getting through the lineman for the loss of 1. That one is going to be incomplete. And 2 plays later, we've got a huge 3rd and 11. This is potentially for the Super Bowl. It's going to be caught. It's going to be just short of the marker, but there's a pass interference called on the play. So a pass interference thrown on Ian Gold, and the chains are going to move, and they don't even have to waste a timeout. Horrible missed tackle by me there by Sheldon Quarles. Going to give up a 12-yard run to Jamal Lewis. The defense continuing to falter in moments where we need them to show up. And that's going to be Travis Taylor getting another reception for a first down. So the Ravens now just marching down the field. Perhaps everyone on the defense is exhausted, but they step up for that play, knocking the ball away from Travis Taylor, bringing up a 2nd and 10. Bowler, plenty of time to throw. That time Travis Taylor is going to haul it inside of 2 defenders. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. They go to the run, and Jamal Lewis stretches out for the first down. Clock ticking down inside of a minute. Jamal Lewis gets hit at the line, and now the Buccaneers realize that they need to start taking timeouts. We're inside of a minute. We need to stop them from getting a first down. Victor Green tries to make the tackle. 2nd timeout is called by the Buccaneers. It's a little bit all or nothing right now, and Jamal Lewis gets the great block and a bad tackle from Kenny Holmes. He was going in the correct direction for us to stop him. And now the ball game is purely in the hands of the Baltimore Ravens. They curiously decide to run the ball here, risking a fumble, although Jamal Lewis has been more than solid at this point. They're going to roll the clock down to 3 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, I can hardly believe it myself, but with time expiring, Matt Stover kicks the field goal through the uprights, capping off a wild 24-21 point victory for the Baltimore Ravens over Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not the ending we were expecting, not the ending that we wanted. A bitterly disappointing loss for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He came to Tampa Bay a year after winning, or I don't know if it was after winning the Super Bowl, but this would have been the year that he won the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots, and Tom Brady is not able to do it with his new home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That said, he knew that he was coming into a roster that he did not necessarily have a say in, as you see Jamal Lewis taking home the very well-deserved Super Bowl MVP. We're going to confirm that right now. We just saw it for ourselves. And the Baltimore Ravens are Super Bowl champions, bringing home the Lombardi in Super Bowl number 31. So it's going to be back to the drawing board for the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He has always had a lot of ideas about how he has wanted this roster to be operated and structured, and it sounds like he may have some ammunition to get the front office to listen to him going into season 2. So we're going to head into our finale here. We're going to look at our final stats for the game before we peace out for the regular first season, but a disappointing ending to quite the run for the Tom Brady-led Buccaneers. You can see here 201 yards passing, just 71 yards on the ground. We ended up giving up nearly 100 yards rushing in the second half. The time of possession wildly swung in the other direction in favor of the Ravens, and thanks to Jamal Lewis, 36 attempts, 126 yards, and 1 touchdown. That is old school smash mouth football, baby. The Baltimore Ravens take home the Super Bowl victory. Kyle Boller was brilliant. Kyle Boller kind of outplayed Tom Brady. 145 yards, 2 touchdowns, better passer rating, no interceptions. Tom was 201 yards for 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Jamal Lewis, 36 attempts for 126. Our running backs truly did not show up in the second half. Mike Allstott was good in the first half, but we really couldn't get anything going with him in the second. Travis Taylor was 8 for 94. Michael Clayton was 5 for 76, but he did drop a couple big ones there towards the end. Joey Galloway, Keenan McCardell getting the 2 touchdown receptions for the Buccaneers. Quarles led the way with 9 tackles, a lot of user tackles for me in this one. We were busy in general with Jamal Lewis running as many times as he did. 1 sack for Tampa Bay coming from Simeon Rice. 4 sacks for the Baltimore Ravens. Ian Gould had the most passes defended, and then the lone interception of the day went to Ed Reed, which is one of the 2 game changers, the other of which was not the forced fumble by Ray Lewis, but it was that roughing the kicker that we had that really kind of changed the momentum for us. So we disappointingly lose in the Super Bowl. Baltimore finishes 14-6 if you count postseason. We finish 15-4, and we head into the offseason of season 1 in second place, which is not first place, which is what we want it to be. So that is the end of season 1 of Tampa Bay in 2004. We will be heading into season 2 as soon as possible with the off season for season 1 and the preseason for preseason 2. Preseason for season 2? You get what I mean. If you've made it this far, especially, thank you so much for watching and for hanging out for this series. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like the video if you haven't already. That helps me a lot. It helps new people find the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. We're on the way to 500 subscribers. I'm very excited to get there sooner than later. That could be you. Thanks as always for hanging out. This is Peanuts 24/7. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.